There comes a moment on the twin flame journey that feels unlike any other. You've cried your tears, surrendered your illusions, and walked through the fire of separation more times than you can count. And yet, something inside whispers that the story isn't finished, that the bond you share with your divine masculine has not only endured but has been preparing you both for a sacred final chapter. It is here, in this final stage, that the question rises like a tide in your soul: who must move first? For many, the instinct is to wait for the masculine, believing he must step into his power, find his voice, and come forward. But what if the truth is deeper? What if the feminine is the one holding the key, the one who must move first, not in desperation or pursuit, but in divine embodiment of her role? This is the cliffhanger of the twin flame journey, the one that holds countless souls in a state of suspense. The mystery is not whether reunion is destined, but how it will unfold. And the revelation may surprise you: the divine feminine must act, not because she chases, but because her vibration sets the stage for the masculine to follow. Before we dive into this soul-stirring truth, I want to invite you into the Inner Sphere channel membership, where you'll find deeper teachings, exclusive guidance, and a community of souls walking the same path. And if this message resonates with your heart, consider supporting through Super Thanks. Every offering helps keep this sacred space alive for twin flames across the world. Now, let us step deeper into the mystery of why the feminine must move first, and why this truth could change everything for you. Every twin flame journey follows a blueprint, though it often feels chaotic and unpredictable. This blueprint is not random, it is encoded into your soul contract, woven with intention before you ever arrived in this lifetime. And within it lies a profound truth: the feminine carries the energy that awakens, activates, and ultimately initiates movement. When you reflect on your own journey, you'll notice this pattern. It was you, the feminine, who first recognized the connection. You felt it before he could name it. You surrendered before he understood what surrender meant. You carried the awareness of love even when his actions seemed to contradict it. This was not weakness, it was alignment with the blueprint. The divine masculine, in his own sacred role, holds the weight of resistance, structure, and grounding. But the feminine is the current, the water that shapes the riverbank, the flame that pulls him into transformation. Without your energy moving first, he remains locked in his shadow, bound by fear and hesitation. The blueprint is clear: the feminine begins, and the masculine responds. This sacred design is not about who is stronger or more capable, nor is it about burdening you with responsibility for his awakening. It is about recognizing the natural rhythm of your souls and the roles chosen before this incarnation. The feminine embodies the frequency of love, compassion, and intuition, while the masculine anchors the lessons of structure, action, and stability. One without the other creates imbalance, but together they form a complete cycle. And like the cycle of breath, one must always begin the inhale for the other to release the exhale. When you, as the feminine, act in alignment with your soul's truth, you send ripples through this shared field of energy. Your actions, whether they are external choices or internal shifts in vibration, penetrate his soul beyond the level of words or conscious thought. He may not always recognize the source, but he feels the pull, the pressure to rise, the magnetic force that whispers he cannot stay the same. This is why your role is not passive, it is catalytic. To embody the blueprint is to step fully into your sovereignty without waiting for permission. It means holding love without fear of rejection, choosing your joy without waiting for him to validate it, and walking your path with faith that the bond will adjust around your authenticity. You are not moving to control him, but to call him into remembrance of his own soul's design. The blueprint does not respond to demands or manipulation, but it does respond to truth. And the truth of your vibration has the power to dismantle every wall he hides behind. When you understand this, the waiting game dissolves. You stop asking, "When will he awaken?" and instead lean into the truth of, "How can I embody love more fully today?" This shift is not just personal, it is cosmic. It sets the entire union in motion, because when the feminine begins, the masculine is drawn, by design, to respond. One of the greatest misunderstandings on the twin flame path is the belief that moving first means chasing. Many feminines fear that if they act, they will undo the progress of surrender, pulling themselves back into cycles of attachment and pain. But moving first is not about chasing the masculine, it is about chasing yourself. To move first is to reclaim your full energy, your sovereignty, and your truth. It means aligning with love, not fear. It means stepping into the life you desire, even if he has not yet arrived to walk it with you. This action, rooted in embodiment rather than desperation, is the feminine's sacred gift. When you move first in this way, you are not sending him messages at midnight or pleading for recognition. You are building your dream, nurturing your body, radiating your power. And in doing so, you create a frequency that his soul cannot ignore. He feels it in the unseen realms, pulled toward you not because you demand it, but because your vibration has become the beacon he longs to return to. Chasing drains you. Embodying empowers you. The difference is everything. And in this final stage, the masculine requires not your pursuit, but your radiance. This is where many on the path stumble. You may believe that surrender meant doing nothing at all, that waiting in silence was proof of faith. Yet true surrender does not mean passive waiting. It means actively living in alignment with your higher self, regardless of whether he is physically present. To move without chasing is to act from inner fullness, not lack. You become the source of your own joy, your own safety, and your own expansion. Consider the energy of chasing. It says, "I need you in order to feel whole." This creates pressure, resistance, and imbalance. Now consider the energy of embodiment. It says, "I am whole, and I trust that our souls will align in perfect timing." This creates magnetism. The masculine is not drawn to pursuit, he is drawn to radiance. And when you shine, you call him home in a way no words ever could. Moving first without chasing is about taking bold steps into the life that excites you. It may mean starting the project you've always dreamed of, opening your heart to new experiences, or deepening your spiritual practice. These actions are not distractions from union, they are the path toward it. Every choice that affirms your sovereignty becomes a signal to the masculine soul, "She is ready, and so must I be." The feminine's power is not found in waiting for him to act, nor in running after him to fill a void. It is found in remembering that your energy sets the tone of the connection. By choosing yourself, you choose the union. By embodying love, you ignite his awakening. In this way, you move first without ever chasing, and that is where the true miracle begins. It may feel unfair at times, wondering why he does not rise on his own. Why must you, once again, carry the responsibility of initiating movement? The answer lies not in burden, but in balance. The masculine, by nature, struggles with surrender. He clings to logic, structure, and the illusion of control. His awakening comes only when he feels safe enough to release these defenses. And who creates that safety? Who anchors that vibration of unconditional acceptance? The feminine. Your act of moving first does not strip him of responsibility, it activates it. By stepping forward in your energy, you hand him the mirror of truth. He can no longer deny the connection when your soul blazes with clarity. He can no longer remain in shadow when your light exposes the path. This is why so many masculines linger in hesitation until the feminine steps fully into her essence. It is not weakness on their part, but the design of the blueprint. The feminine awakens, and the masculine rises in response. Without your movement, he remains suspended in potential. With it, he is drawn into purpose. The masculine energy is wired to protect, to provide, and to stabilize. But before he can embody those roles in union, he must be shown the way out of his fear. His human self clings to duty, expectations, and logic because these feel tangible and safe. His soul, however, is waiting for the feminine to demonstrate that love itself is the greater safety. When you embody your truth unapologetically, you dissolve the illusions he has wrapped himself in. Suddenly, his defenses feel unnecessary, and his heart begins to stir awake. It is not that he cannot act, it is that he often will not act until he feels the vibration of truth around him. He waits, sometimes unknowingly, for you to embody what his soul already remembers. Your movement is not about taking his role, it is about calling him into his own. Like a flame that lights another, your radiance awakens his dormant fire. This waiting can feel endless, and many feminines mistake it as rejection or abandonment. But in reality, it is a reflection of divine timing. He is not stalling because he does not love you, he is waiting for the exact moment when your energy opens the door wide enough for him to step through. When you embody your fullness, he sees his path clearly, and hesitation transforms into action. The masculine does not resist forever. Once the feminine moves, his soul responds as though remembering a song it had nearly forgotten. He begins to claim his role, not out of pressure, but out of recognition. This is why your act of moving first is not just important, it is essential. Without it, he waits in potential. With it, he awakens into purpose. The final stage of the twin flame journey is not about waiting for signs, endlessly wondering when union will arrive. It is about alignment. This stage requires the feminine to embody her truth so completely that union becomes inevitable. What does this action look like? It may be as simple as finally saying yes to your calling, pursuing the career or creative path you've delayed for fear of losing him. It may be setting boundaries with people who drain your energy, no longer settling for half-hearted connections. It may even be opening your heart again, not in betrayal of him, but in recognition that love itself cannot be contained. Every act of alignment you take becomes the action that moves first. Every decision rooted in love rather than fear sends ripples through the bond. The masculine feels it, and slowly, his soul begins to align as well. This is why waiting endlessly does not bring union. Union requires movement, and that movement begins with you. Alignment, in its truest sense, means living your life as though union has already been written in the stars, which it has. It is stepping out of longing and into embodiment, no longer asking, "When will he come?" but instead affirming, "I am already whole." This shift dissolves the tension of waiting and replaces it with an inner power that cannot be shaken. Your life becomes fertile ground for union, because your energy no longer signals lack, it radiates completion. Think of alignment as a series of sacred choices. Each time you choose joy over fear, truth over compromise, and love over self-denial, you strengthen the blueprint. You prove to yourself, and to the universe, that you are ready to hold the vibration of union. The masculine cannot resist this frequency for long, because it harmonizes with the very essence of his soul. He may not understand it consciously, but he will feel the pull to match your vibration. This stage asks you to release the illusion that union depends on him alone. It depends on the shared field of energy you both create, and the feminine is the one who sets it in motion through her alignment. The more you embody your purpose, your radiance, and your self-love, the more his hesitations lose their grip. When you step into alignment, you stop waiting for signs and become the sign yourself. You become the living evidence that love is not about passivity, but about creation. And in this final stage, that creation, your embodied action, is what transforms potential into reality. The moment you choose to move first, something powerful shifts. You will feel lighter, no longer tethered to the weight of waiting. Your energy expands, your confidence grows, and the love you carry transforms from longing into radiance. In the unseen realms, your masculine senses this change. His dreams shift. His restlessness intensifies. The illusions he once clung to begin to crumble. He may resist at first, but the current is too strong. Eventually, he is pulled toward you, not because you demanded it, but because your soul acted as the compass he could not ignore. This is how reunion is birthed. Not through begging, pleading, or waiting, but through movement. The feminine moves first, and the masculine follows, not in submission, but in harmony. When you step forward, you change the entire energetic dynamic between you. Instead of sending out the vibration of lack, you radiate completion. Instead of asking the universe to prove itself, you embody faith in action. This subtle yet profound shift creates a wave of energy that touches every aspect of your connection. You no longer exist in the waiting room of destiny, you are actively creating it. For the masculine, this movement feels undeniable. His spirit begins to awaken in ways his human mind cannot control. He might suddenly question the choices he has made, the roles he has been playing, and the life he has built around fear. At times, this can stir resistance or confusion, but it is always moving him closer to truth. Deep down, he recognizes that your shift is not about abandoning him but about embodying love, and that recognition calls him forward. For you, stepping forward creates liberation. You begin to feel joy returning in places where heaviness once lived. Your sense of identity expands beyond the role of waiting for union, and you step back into being the creator of your own destiny. This freedom does not weaken the bond, it strengthens it. Because when you thrive, the connection thrives. When you live fully, you send the message that love was never meant to keep you small. Reunion is not forced, it is magnetized. It comes together when both souls vibrate at the frequency of truth. And it is always the feminine's act of moving first that sets this vibration in motion. When you step forward, you declare to the universe that you are ready, not just for him, but for love in its highest form. That declaration cannot go unanswered. If you are here, hearing my words, it is not by accident. You are being called to step into the role your soul chose long before this lifetime. You are the divine feminine, the initiator, the current that shapes the destiny of your union. And in this final stage, your action is not only needed, it is sacred. Trust yourself. Trust the blueprint. Trust that when you move first, you are not moving alone. The entire universe moves with you, orchestrating the path that will bring you and your twin flame into union. Beloved, you now know the truth. The final stage of the twin flame journey does not belong to waiting, it belongs to action. And that action rests in your hands. The divine feminine must move first, not in chasing, but in embodying, not in desperation, but in alignment. When you step forward, you ignite the masculine's awakening. When you act, you anchor the blueprint. When you choose love, union becomes inevitable. So, I ask you, are you ready to move first? Let your soul answer. Let your heart guide you. And if you are ready to walk deeper into this truth, explore more here on Inner Sphere, where guidance, wisdom, and community await. And as you walk this path, remember, you are never without guidance. The Inner Sphere channel membership is here to walk beside you, offering deeper teachings, exclusive insights, and a community of souls who understand. And if this message touched you, I invite you to support the channel through super thanks, helping us keep this space alive for all twin flames seeking truth. Your journey is sacred. Your action is powerful. And the final stage is already unfolding. Your time is now.